J-Hope shares hard training before BTS debut. Training journey was not easy as the world anticipates the monumental reunion of the global phenomenon BTS. The excitement surrounding their return is palpable. With the members having completed their mandatory military service and slowly returning to public life, the countdown to their future activities has begun. Amidst this atmosphere of celebration and nostalgia, Jung Hoseok, universally known as J-Hope, has offered a rare and grounded glimpse into the unpolished reality of his beginnings. In a recent revealing conversation with Teen Vogue, the artist peeled back the layers of his superstar persona to discuss the gritty early days that formed the foundation of his career. While looking forward to the future, J-Hope took a moment to reflect on his past, specifically his very first audition. He shared that he originally created a choreography to Miguel's song Sure Thing to secure his spot as a trainee. This memory made his recent collaboration with Miguel on the track Sweet Dreams feel like a profound, full-circle moment. He described the experience of auditions as bittersweet, a complex mix of relief that the pressure is over, coupled with the lingering regret of missed opportunities to perform better. However, the most striking revelation came when J-Hope detailed his first day as a trainee in Seoul. The date was December 24, 2010, Christmas Eve. While most teenagers were celebrating with family, a young Hoseok arrived in the capital city with dreams of a structured, glamorous life. He confessed that he had fantasized about the trainee lifestyle, expecting a neat, organized environment. The reality was a stark shock. Upon entering the dorm he would share with his future bandmates, he found a chaotic mess. It was not the pristine start he imagined. Instead of training or celebrating, his first act as a future idol was to clean up the clutter. He noted that this messiness made the experience feel more real and human, grounding him immediately in the difficult road ahead. Furthermore, J-Hope elaborated on his role as a mentor within the group from the very beginning. He didn't just learn, he taught. He recalled teaching the rules of the dorm to the youngest member, Jung Hoseok, and to V. He even shared a touching memory of meeting Jimin at the bus stop when he first arrived from Busan, guiding him through the bewildering new world of trainee life. These anecdotes paint a picture not of a pampered star, but of a young man who, from day one, was shouldering responsibilities far beyond his years. To understand the depth of resilience required to survive those early days, one must look beyond the cheerful, smiling sunshine of BTS and examine the life of Jung Hoseok, the boy from Gwangju. His journey is a testament to the immense weight carried by those who are expected to always be the source of hope for others. Born in Gwangju, South Korea, Hoseok was not originally a vocalist or a rapper. He was a street dancer. Long before the stadium lights of BTS, he was known as Smile Hoya, a renowned dancer in the underground scene. His upbringing was defined by a singular, burning passion for movement. For the young Hoseok, dance was not just a hobby, it was his language. However, the transition from a local street dancer to a K-pop trainee was not a seamless evolution, it was a fracture. It required leaving behind his family, his crew, and his comfort zone to enter a system that often treats individuality as an obstacle to be overcome. The Christmas Eve arrival he mentioned in his interview is symbolic of a much larger sacrifice. By arriving in Seoul on a holiday, he was essentially signing a contract to forfeit his youth. The loneliness of a trainee is a specific, hollow ache. Far from home, surrounded by competitors who are also friends, the pressure is relentless. For J-Hope, this pressure was compounded by his role as the group's dance leader. Industry sources and verified documentaries have often highlighted the terrifying authority J-Hope holds in the practice room. He was the one responsible for the group's synchronization, the one who had to count the beats and correct the angles. But this authority came with a heavy burden. If the group's performance was not perfect, the weight fell on his shoulders. He had to be the strict teacher, often suppressing his own exhaustion to ensure the others didn't falter. There is a profound isolation in being the one who has to hold everyone else up. While the other members could rely on him, who could he rely on? There was a moment in the group's history, documented in their film Burn the Stage, that reveals just how close J-Hope came to breaking. Before their debut, the pressure became too much, and he made the decision to leave the group. He packed his bags and returned to Gwangju. It is a moment that fans now look back on with chills, realizing how different history could have been. It was the tears of the youngest member Jungkook, who begged him not to go, and the insistence of the leader RM, who told the company that we cannot debut without Jung Hoseok, that brought him back. He returned not for fame, but because he couldn't abandon the brothers he had promised to lead. He sacrificed his desire to escape the pressure for the sake of the collective dream. As BTS rose to global stardom, J-Hope adopted a persona that became both his armor and his cage, J-Hope. He decided to be the source of positivity, the mood maker, the one who always smiles. But maintaining a constant state of brightness is an exhausting emotional labor. For years, he hid his own shadows to ensure the fans and the members saw only the light. He absorbed the negativity and radiated joy, a selfless act that often left him drained behind closed doors. It was only in recent years, with the release of his solo album Jack in the Box, that he allowed the world to see the man behind the mask. He revealed a grittier, darker side, expressing the anxiety and the burning ambition that fuels him. He showed that his hope was not born of naivety, but of a desperate, clawing survival instinct. His historic performance at Lollapalooza, where he became the first South Korean artist to headline a major U.S. music festival, was a display of this raw power. Standing alone on that massive stage, without his 6 bandmates, he faced the terrifying uncertainty of solitary stardom and conquered it with a ferocity that silenced every critic. Even his recent military service reflects this unwavering dedication. Various media sources reported that he served as an assistant drill instructor, a role reserved for the most disciplined and capable soldiers. Even in the military, stripped of his celebrity status, he rose to a position of leadership, guiding new recruits just as he guided his members in the messy dorms of 2010. The story of J-Hope is not simply about a dancer who became a star. It is the story of a protector. It is the narrative of a young man who walked into a messy room on Christmas Eve and decided to clean it up, not just for himself, but for everyone who would follow. He swallowed his fear, hid his pain, and danced through the bleeding toes and the sleepless nights to build a legacy. Today, when he speaks of those early days with a sense of nostalgia, it is the earned reflection of a veteran. The messy dorm is now a memory, replaced by the polished perfection of a legend. But the respect he commands is not for the riches he has earned. It is for the silence he endured. It is for the times he chose to stay when he wanted to leave. It is for the smile he offered when he wanted to cry. As we await the next chapter of BTS, the audience looks at J-Hope with a newfound depth of understanding. We see not just the sunshine, but the steel spine that holds the sky up. His journey from the bus stop in Seoul to the top of the world is a reminder that true hope is not a feeling, it is a discipline. And for Jung Hoseok, it was the greatest sacrifice of all.